Just finished the live premiere for the vlog. Really enjoyed chatting with everyone again tonight. I do very much enjoy sort of being in the community and sort of really being in the comments and getting back to everyone. Because of the pandemic, we've really got into podcasts last year, so we started watching loads of stuff on YouTube. One which we found, which is absolutely brilliant, is this one here, which is on the TV. Now this is Bobby Lee and this is Andrew Santino. They do this podcast called Bad Friends. 100% recommend checking this podcast out because it's so funny. The connection they've got is brilliant. Bobby then has his own podcast called Tiger Belly, which is really funny. He does it with his fiance, it's just his girlfriend, I think. Andrew Santino does a bit of a less funny one with himself and just a guest called Whiskey Ginger. But yeah, all sort of discovered all through watching through like the Joe Rogan podcast and then finding out all the different characters from the American comedy scene. And yeah, once you get into it, there's loads of different comedy podcasts they're on, and it's absolutely fantastic. But recommend checking this one out as a start. Absolutely beautiful day today actually. The sun's out, the blue skies are so blue, it's absolutely stunning. Just on my way now into this meeting over in the sort of headed west of London, so now we're about to go in. I'm gonna have this meeting and I'll fill you in on the details as soon as I get out. It is a dull and dreary day today, so I'm just about to have a meeting with the PR agency, see what they've got to say. Waiting for the phone call from them right now. I always get nervous when talking to these sort of PR types because they're so confident and they're so like very people person, aren't they? They talk to people, they know how to sort of handle themselves. Whereas one-on-one with someone, I always quite enjoy it. I feel like it's fun, I feel like quite comfortable, especially when I'm cutting hair because I feel like I'm the one almost like in control because I'm sort of the one cutting hair then sat in the chair. But then in normal life, I do always feel a little bit, I hate making phone calls to be honest. It's definitely something I need to learn and get better at. I'm very good, thank you. How are you? That's no problem. I mean, I completely get the situation you're in with when situations arise. So I'll take no more of your time up, and I'll let you crack on.
Thank you.
Perfect. I look forward to hearing from you. All the best. Bye. Oh, rescheduled again. I'm obviously Mr. Popular when it comes to this. So I've just set up again to have a little chat with the PR agency at 2:30. Got an email at 20 past saying that they couldn't make it again. I'm pretty sure they're desperate to have a chat with me. I really think I'm exactly what they're looking for and can't wait to see me. Sarcasm. Tip number 2 is to use a hairdryer. The reason why we use a hairdryer or a straightener. Look at this beautiful little dog. Have you had a trim, Luna? Look at this. I was out on Tuesday, got back. Luna had this fresh trim. She can now see. Stop. Look at this. Look how beautiful you are now. Right, we're gonna go out for a little wander now, aren't we? Update, what happened this week? It's been a mad one. It's Sunday evening, and we're gonna go and tell the story. Stay. Okay. Stay. Going down. Okay. Good girl. So to be honest, like my brain's been fried all week really. Came out of the meeting and it was really fun, it was cool. Spoke to Kasha straight after, just sort of to talk her through everything that happened. You know what, it was really fun being in like a meeting in sort of like a boardroom style. It was the first time I've ever been in anything like that. Obviously been in the golf world and then sort of working with Dad in sort of like the car world. It was not really an environment that I've been. They've got some amazing offices that they have, so it was really cool. Really nice experience actually being in there. There we go, no she is going. And obviously deal-wise, it's the first offer, it's never going to be sort of like the offer that you actually end up taking. I think everyone's just trying to feel each other out really and trying to gauge where it is. Okay. Good girl. Bed? And I'm like a really emotional person. I get really held with things and my mind goes over and starts working out different scenarios of how things could play out. I think because I am quite emotional, like from this whole week, I was exhausted from the get-go because I knew at some point I had to give bad news to somebody. So I either had to give bad news to this brand that no, I don't want to do work with them, or that I then had to give bad news to Mueller and say that our relationship is going to be changing. So from the get-go, from the start from the week, heart rate was up the whole time. I guess I wouldn't ever have really classed myself as an anxious person, but I guess there definitely has been a level level of anxiety there this week, really. Then there was another offer on Wednesday evening, and I just asked for a bit more time just to think about it overnight. Probably the fact of the decision of knowing that, say, if I was to do the deal with them, it's going to affect my next, well, period of my life. So I guess I really did want to sort of really think about it and process what everything was, and without just sort of trying to just say, oh yeah, we'll do that. That night I just got absolutely no sleep, because I know at that point then I definitely had to say to one of them, yes or no. And then Thursday I ended up speaking to so many people on the phone. I feel like I always want to make the decision myself, and it very much is my decision that I made. But I do like to get different scenarios and different points of views from different people. I spoke to my dad. He's very sort of like business minded, and he's I wouldn't say emotionless, but he's definitely sort of like to the point with certain things. So it was good to get his point of view on certain things. Then I spoke to another friend of mine who is business minded, but also tries to weigh up things from, well, actually, okay, that might be financially X, but if you do that, where does your happiness come from? Like, is there happiness that comes from that, or is it happiness that comes from that avenue? So he helped to think out the decision and work out different things from a different perspective, which was really cool. I actually spoke to an old boss of mine actually, and he was who I really respect. I've got on really well with him over the year. And then because I'd had this second offer on the table, I decided to speak to Mueller. So I phoned Paul up, which was the idea of having to do that I absolutely hated. But I wanted to be transparent. I wanted to let everyone know what the score was with everything. So we did that, and obviously that was a hard one. He then wanted to speak to Germany, see if they could come back with a different type of offer. So he was gonna speak to Germany on Friday morning, and then it was time to talk with the brand again and renegotiate and try and get to the mutually beneficial point with them. That was an interesting conversation. I enjoyed that. I felt a bit more relaxed during that conversation, and it did go really well. And we agreed to the deal, barring the conversation that I would then have with Mueller the next morning, because I wanted to give them the respect of sort of coming back with an offer. I felt better going to bed that night. I felt a bit more relaxed and a bit more at ease. Friday morning came, I worked out, got all jittery, and then got worked up for the calls again. Turns out it wasn't something Mueller that would be able to match. So got off the phone, phoned up the two owners of this company. So the next, 9 months for sure is sort of tied up with these guys, and very excited to see where the journey goes. I was speaking to both of them on the phone. It was the first time since getting in the hair world where I felt the same level of enthusiasm and the same level of excitement as that I have and that I sort of put into things. I got into the hair world, and it definitely felt like more my type of person and my type of people. When I was in the golf world, I never really felt like they were sort of my type of person, or meant that I wasn't really a golfer. But then when I got into the hair world, it definitely felt like there was more of a connection. But I guess I hadn't really felt someone over the last few years where there'd been like a real like tight bond, or like a real excitement of working on the same level of how to do things. But the conversation individually with both of these, it was really nice. You could tell they're super excited for it. I felt really excited. The gentleman who's in charge of the barbershop side of it, he was then talking me through his vision of how he would change things. Listening to the excitement in his voice was so nice. I just felt so pumped up. The vision sounded really cool. It sounds something that very much I'm on board with. We haven't signed a contract yet, so I'm not going to go into full details of the brand itself in case it does fall through for whatever reason. But the deal is sort of it's how it's going to be going forward. So I'm going to be creating one sort of long form piece of content for them a week. So it's a barbershop hair product brand. I'm going to be creating one video for them a week, which will go onto YouTube and then sort of filter it down so it then has like an Instagram video, Facebook video, TikTok video, for example. I'm then going to be creating all of my content from this space. It's down in a basement. So it's a barbershop upstairs, there's a basement downstairs, which we're going to turn into cool recording studio where it's got like mic set up, the lighting set up. I've been looking at different sort of like cameras and how we can sort of have that all set up. I've been looking at ceiling mounts to be able to then drop them down so we can have it going around, so we can record the haircut really nicely. Gonna have a little bit of a setup. I think I'm picturing that we have like a little bit of a setup for podcasting as well, so like a separate sort of corner sofa of some sort maybe. I'm gonna be recording all of my content from that area. So because it's gonna be set up perfectly for recording, obviously the production quality of all my stuff is gonna go up massively. There's gonna be all soundproof, so the quality of the ASMR videos, that's all gonna be a lot crisper and cleaner. The lighting will be set up perfectly. So like with Men's Grooming Weekly, obviously I have that one softbox on, but it doesn't really light me properly. If we get that all lit up properly, it's just gonna make such a difference with that. I'm gonna have then my own office off the side of it where all my editing or any of the work I need to do on my laptop, so I've got all that sort of a separate space to be able to do stuff. That's something I've lacked as well. Like I do everything either from home or from the barbershop, and in the barbershop it's usually sort of working on your lap, so it's not amazing. And when you're at home, and when I'm at home I like to relax. But really excited. So tomorrow I'm going into the shop and we're gonna go with one of the owners. He's got his mood board. We're gonna go and sort of talk through how we wanted to get it set up. They want to get it ready for April 1st. So at the moment, we're 14th of March at the moment, so we've got a couple of weeks to get it set up. Yeah, so I think it's gonna move on really quickly. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Can't wait actually. I put an Instagram post out on Friday night actually when the deal had been done, and I got involved with the hair world almost 5 years ago. I felt like I've really immersed myself in it and just sort of tried to do as much as I can. I've tried to I've moved on from shop to shop when I felt like it was time to try and learn new things, or there was something else that I felt like it was the right time to do something else. I felt like I've always tried to do more than what's expected, but it's always been like little steps and moving on quite nicely. But this is the first time where it sort of feels like it's like a bigger jump up, and it feels like, oh wow, this takes it to a different level, and it is a completely different level now, because now, like with this job, I'm not really a barber. I'm the main sort of job which they're paying me for is to be like a content creator. So it feels like it's a real sort of step up, still within the hairdressing world and the barbering world, but it's a completely different avenue. So it's really interesting to see how this journey is then going to continue to grow, and which avenue then it's going to go down. I love cutting hair, but I am actually really excited to drop the amount of haircuts that I'm doing that I've say like of customers and clients. I'll still be doing lots of haircuts, but probably less customers. It's been a bit of a weird vlog because I wasn't in the headspace to be able to record it. It was like my heart was pumping and everything was going on. It just felt all a bit crazy. So this week it'll feel more like a normal week. So there's going to be lots of vlogging, lots of videos from this week. Have a brilliant day wherever you are in the world, and thanks for watching. Much love, Elliot.